Alrighty y'all, today we're going to talk about center swiveling traps. We're going to talk about the advantages, and then I'm going to show you how to do it on this table over here. Alrighty y'all, so first thing you're going to need is a drill and drill bit. I'm using a 7/32 drill bit because I measured with calipers the size of these J-hooks here. It's a little bit bigger, but we kind of want that because we don't want a zero tolerance fit. Otherwise, when you open these, they still have a slight curve to them, so they might be hard to get in. So, just like to push the pans out of the way. Just really clamp her in there. I also like to use some oil, especially if I'm doing like more than one trap, so the drill bit doesn't get too hot. You don't want to burn it out. Just gonna put a little bit on there. My oil can work there. There we go. Aim for about center, and then just drill it in. Alright. There we go. And now, you can see there, let me bring you guys in a little bit closer here. Alright, so we got a nice little hole in there. We can just flip that off. And then we got our J-hook tool here. This is a homemade one. Doesn't work the best, but it's better than nothing. Try and open these bad boys up. Yeah, these ones pretty much only open it enough to get the chain out. We'll remove that. I'm gonna twist this right out of there. May have to open it up. Oh, I think we might just get it. There we go. Now that we got that done, we're basically gonna have to open this one up a little bit more. A regular J-hook tool should do that. Oh, sorry, it was out of the frame for a second. A regular J-hook tool would open it up all the way. This one doesn't, so I'm just gonna stick it in the vise, take a punch, and just punch it open, and then I'll come back to you guys here. Alright, so once you got that bent open all the way, you just take your chain in there. You can sometimes take a pair of pliers and tighten these up. These ones are a little bit thicker than the previous ones I worked on. So I'm just going to bring this back out to the vise, set it in there, crimp it on, and then I'll bring it back out here to you guys. Alright, so I brought it back in. One thing I wanted to show you real quick is I actually took two washers here and put them on there so that this can't go up too much. So you can see there they don't touch the bottom of the pan. On the first trap I didn't do that. And you can see here, even if I push it up all the way, I actually tested it, it's not touching. When I push this up all the way and the pan is down as far as it can go when it's in this position anyhow, it will not prevent it from going off. Of course, that may change if like I move the dog really far forward and the pan has to go lower, but so far it's not interfering. I'm not really going to take it apart and redo it. Who knows, I might, but I'm not too worried about it. But on the future traps, I am going to put the washer there just because they're not that expensive. So, and then real quick, I showed you guys how to do it. This is one way to do it. The other way would be base plating and D-ring, where you put a thicker piece of metal on the bottom, a D-ring, sorry, I'm out of frame again. Put a thicker piece of metal on the bottom, you put a D-ring, and then you put a swivel. So it's like another J-hook, a swivel, and then another J-hook to your chain. And that way you get maximum freedom of movement, and then the base plate will also provide more strength. I'm not base plating these ones because these are number ones. These aren't even rated for like catching a fox. These are just coon traps. But I did center swivel them though, because eventually the springs will get weaker. And I've heard, now this is just what one guy said, you know, could be false, but I heard one guy say he was using side swiveled 1.5s and a coon got his foot in it. And because of course when you're pulling at it in a side swiveled trap, the leg moves to the side and can like depress that. It was pulling at it, and since it was pulling at it, it put its hand there and was able to slip its paw out. So it might not matter because these ones are pretty new, but if the springs get really old, It's not necessarily likely to happen, but it could happen, and I just want to avoid that. And then, so that's one quick advantage. The other one disadvantage, I should say, would be it is a little bit harder to set on like hard ground or set on your knee. As you can imagine, if you were to put that on your knee, it doesn't feel the best. And I was setting these on the concrete floor to test them out real quick, and definitely didn't want to balance real good. But it's definitely worth it for me. I'm going to be doing this with all of my #1 coil springs, and then my 1.5 coil springs. I'm going to be base plating and D-ringing. They're pretty much too small for coyote, but I already have the D-rings, I already have the base plates, so I figure why not. And I know there are 1.5 size traps that are built to hold coyotes, so I'll just modify mine. I'm not going to use them for coyotes, but in case it were to catch one, I'd want it to hold it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it educational, and I encourage you to check out some of my other trapping videos, as they may help you along as well. God bless, and see you on the next episode.